Hermanos y hermanas, brothers and sisters, this is one of the reasons why we must try very, very hard to ensure that what we get elected are progressives in the Democratic Party. I want to show you something, but beforehand, I want you to listen to Joe Biden. I want to listen to you hear exactly how he expresses things about Medicare for all and things that are there to serve you, things that are there to make your life better. Check this out.
What you're up against is things that are almost fanciful, like, Medicare for all, 40 trillion dollars. Even Bernie's now saying, well, how much it can cost? Well, who knows? We'll find out. I think that's the phrase you used. Part of being president is not just the idea you have, can you get it done? Have you ever done anything big? Have you ever been able to put together coalitions that bring along Republicans and all the Democrats to get things done? And the idea, it's almost fanciful.
I know, but isn't that Bernie's strength, though? That everybody knows, one thing about Bernie, you know where he stands, you know who he is, he doesn't change.
And he's never got anything done. I'm not being, he's a decent guy. He's been talking about health care, Medicare for all, universal health care for 35 years. Nothing's happened. I helped get past Obamacare. I helped move it forward. I got the votes. I'm in a position where I take something that I promise you I'll get done. We take Obamacare. We allow people like out here in Nevada. What's going on? Bernie requires and Elizabeth's plan requires you to give up all private insurance. These folks have broken their necks, the Culinary Union and others, to get the most comprehensive health care that's out there. And they've given up wages for it. Now they're being told you got to give it up. You can't keep it. And it's going to cost $30 trillion or more. And I can't tell you who's going to pay for it.
Okay, first of all, he's using Republican talking points, and to put it bluntly, he's lying and showing disregard to humanity, showing disregard to the American citizens. First of all, to call Medicare for all fanciful is great when you have either federal health insurance or you're very well taken care of. I just saw a thing from a very prominent blogger that says, I am a father of 3, but I have no insurance on myself. Now, you notice how even Todd was taken aback when Joe said, oh, Bernie Sanders haven't accomplished anything. He's been trying to do Medicare for a long time and he hasn't accomplished it. And then at the same time, he goes and he said, I get things done with Republicans. After all, we got Obamacare. Let's qualify that very well. First of all, yeah, Bernie Sanders could not get Medicare for all because not only were the Republicans attempting to stop it, but folks like the centrists in the Democratic Party attempted to stop Medicare for all. It is exactly as Mitch McConnell is operating, right? The Democrats have given him several bills from the House for him to work and pass in the Senate. He refuses to even bring them up in the Senate, and then he says, oh, the Democrats have not accomplished anything. They haven't gotten any bills passed. Oh, of course they haven't gotten you to pass their bills, but they have gotten a lot of bills. That's exactly what Biden is saying. He's using Republican talking points. The only reason he can say something like Bernie Sanders has been talking Medicare for all for a long time and has not accomplished it at all is because there are people stopping that from occurring, and it's not the Republicans. It is these are centrists like Joe Biden and others who don't see the reality that we do need Medicare for all. Then he comes with the other Republican talking point, the lie that says, oh, all those workers, including the workers for the Culinary Union, is going to lose their health care. That's what the leadership, who I think they are likely on the take, are telling the people that work for these companies, or that is what other Republican light candidates are telling their people. Oh, 140 million people are going to lose their health insurance, and you don't like that. If you like your health insurance, people don't like their health insurance. The health insurance is a slave driving corporations. They tell you what doctors you can see. They tell you what hospitals you can go to. They tell you what drugs you can take. They like to say, oh, we want to give you the choice of your health insurance. Why take choice away from Americans? That is like saying, I am going to give you the choice of who's going to be your slave driver. I will give you the choice choice of who's going to be your master. Master A, Master B, or Master C. They still all have a whip. They still all control you. Medicare for All frees you from that. How does it do that? It does that because guess what? Now, Medicare for All, the one-payer system says the person who decides what drugs you're going to take is your doctor, not some insurance company that is your master. The person who decides what hospital is going to go to, your doctor, not the master, your insurance company. The people who tell you what procedures you can have will be determined by what you need and not by the profit motive of an insurance company who wants to pill for your premiums and pill for your tax dollars to go to a few rich people. The last thing about what he had to say is when he talks about, oh, the culinary union has negotiated wages. They've actually taken wage cuts so that they could have better health care. Well, hell, if they now get Medicare for All, their wages can increase. And you know what? Given that Medicare for All is paid for out of the big pool from all of us all, what it really means then is, oh, the culinary union with Medicare for All, their salaries can increase because the employer is no longer responsible for doing all of that. And they get more money. They get more money. So it is the lies that centrists and Republicans are telling Americans it's not only evil, it should actually be criminal. Because a lot of people are going to die, what I call voluntary manslaughter, because of the lies that they've convinced good Americans about. Now, here's the deal. I went ahead and, in preparing for this, I just came up to an article. It just sort of appeared. And guess what? It's amazing. Because what we actually thought is we know what's true. And what is true, my brothers and my sisters, check out the headline for this Daily Kos article. Sanders applauds new Medicare for All study will save Americans $450 billion and prevent 68,000 unnecessary deaths every year. Senator Bernie Sanders on Saturday applauded a new study published by a team of epidemiologists in the peer-reviewed medical journal The Lancet, which found that Medicare for All will save Americans $450 billion and prevent 68,000 unnecessary deaths each and every year. The study confirms that Medicare for All will save the American people $450 billion on healthcare costs and will prevent 68,000 million deaths. So folks, don't believe the lies. The stories are out there to tell you. I mean, math is absolute. If you also have to pay shareholders and profits and duplicate services, and all, of course, having independent private insurance companies for something that should be a right costs a lot more money. And you know what? The evidence is there. We pay more than any other country in the world per person for medical care. So let's stop allowing people to confuse us. Let's stop allowing people to lie to us. Everything that Biden puts when he was interviewed there by Chuck Todd is the perfect reason, first of all, why he is sinking in the poll and why every centrist, every moderate that claims they don't want Medicare for All should continue to sink in the poll if we as American citizens know what's good for us. Let's start looking out for those who look out for us. Let's start looking out and make sure we look out for all our brothers and sisters. And you know what? It's not anyone that is opposed to Medicare for All. Those opposed to Medicare for All, they are opposed to you.